We're going to do an example of finding higher order derivatives with a square root function. So given that f of x is 4 square roots of x, find f prime of x, f double prime of x, and f triple prime of x. So let's start by rewriting this function. I find it easier to find the derivative if we write an exponent instead of a square root. So I'm going to rewrite the function x to the 1/2. 4x to the 1/2 instead of 4 square roots of x. So now the first derivative, we can use the power rule. Bring down the 1/2. 1/2 times 4x, and subtract 1 from the power. So 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. We can simplify that a little bit. Half of 4 is 2, x to the negative 1/2. You might prefer to write this back in its original form, so you could also write this as 2 over the negative exponent flips the square root down, 2 over square root x. Either one of these is acceptable. Now the second derivative, we're going to use the first derivative, and I'm going to take the derivative of the function in this form. So again, using the power rule, bring down the negative 1/2. X to the subtract 1 from the power, negative 1/2 minus 1 is negative 3/2. So we can rewrite this function, negative 1/2 of times 2 is negative 1, x to the negative 3/2. Or again, you can switch this and write it as negative 1 over x to the negative 3/2 becomes 1 over the square root of x to the third. One more derivative, f triple prime of x. Now we take the derivative of this function, f double prime of x, and we have, bring down the power, negative 3 over 2. I'm going to write that negative in front of the x as a negative 1. X, subtract 1 from the power, negative 3/2 minus 1 is negative 5/2. So we're going to write this function as 3 over 2 x to the negative 5/2. Or, again, you can rewrite it closer to the original form, which would be 3 over 2 square root of x to the 5th.